Good afternoon. Thank you for coming down. Today is a day that we're going to pause. Probably won't be very quiet with all the truck traffic, but we take a second to remember those officers that have fallen in past years, particularly last year, along with all the members from our respective departments in the last so long. I'm not sure how long, to be honest with you. My name is Chief Shaner. I'm with the Millersburg Police Department. This is a day that people don't like to think about. I talked about this earlier this week. Memorial Days are never exactly days that people want to talk about, think about, but it has to be in your mind. And the public that shows up, we appreciate you guys being here. Our community down here is very, very big. They support us very much. I appreciate it. Speak on it any chance I get. Bigger cities, you go into the bigger cities and it's not so law enforcement friendly. Down here, we don't have that problem. We've never had that problem. It's very much appreciated, and we appreciate you guys coming in, taking a little bit out of your day so that we can remember some of the fallen officers. Thank you.
Let's join our hearts in prayer. Gracious God, we thank you for the gifts of government, its laws and order, for our safety, protection of our freedom, and our common good. We thank you for those who protect and serve us as agents of law and order, agents of your hand. Today we honor those officers who have lost their lives in the line of duty. May they rest in peace with you. Grant your peace and comfort to their families, their friends, comrades in duty. And as we remember those who have fallen, we pray that you will grant safety and courage, wisdom for those who continue to serve. Be with them, Lord. Amen.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you all for being here today. I want to begin by recognizing our local law enforcement officers, first responders, veterans, families of the fallen, and each and every one of you taking the time out of your busy day to honor our heroes on this solemn and important day. Today in Holmes County, we pause to reflect. We are gathered not for celebration, but for remembrance. We are here to honor those who have worn the badge, served our communities, and unfortunately cannot be here with us today. This ceremony reminds us of the high cost of public safety and the deep debt we owe to the men and women who serve. We often think of national holidays when we reflect on sacrifice, but the truth is there is never a wrong time to honor the fallen. There is never a wrong day to remember the lives given for service. Today is about recognizing those who gave everything and those who continue to stand guard so the rest of us may live in peace. Police officers and deputies do not serve overseas in combat zones, although many of them have. Their service takes place right here, on our streets, in our neighborhoods, on the highways and at schools, in homes, day and night. They face a different kind of battle, one against violence, uncertainty, and the very chaos that threatens civil society. It is not glamorous work. It is often thankless, and yet they serve again and again because they believe in something bigger than themselves. They believe in protecting others, even at great personal cost. These men and women serve quietly, often anonymously. They are the ones who show up after the 911 call, the ones who run towards a domestic dispute, who pull over a vehicle not knowing who or what is inside, who put themselves between harm and the rest of us again and again. They don't seek fame or fortune. The badge is not worn for attention. It is worn for the symbol of duty, of courage, and sacrifice. We ask a lot of our officers. We ask them to be enforcers of the law, but also peacemakers. We ask them to confront danger, but also show restraint. We ask them to handle the worst situations our communities face, and then go home and raise their own families, mow the lawn, and coach Little League. It is an extraordinary job that demands extraordinary people. And when they serve well, and they all do, they change lives and they save lives. I know many of you here today could tell stories of officers who helped a child in crisis, who delivered tragic news with compassion, who de-escalated a violent situation with calm professionalism. That everyday heroism may never make the news, but it makes all the difference. Here in Holmes County, our history bears witness to the risks law enforcement has always faced. In 1909, Officer Jacob Bell of the Holmes County Sheriff's Department gave his life in the line of duty. More than a century later, we still speak his name. That alone tells you what kind of sacrifice he made. His story reminds us that even in communities like ours, tight-knit, peaceful, and rural, the burden of service is heavy and sometimes ultimate. We do not forget Officer Bell, nor do we forget the officers across Ohio who have fallen since. Nor do we forget those who served with honor for many years and have since passed on. Their names may not appear on granite memorials or television screens, but they live on in the lives they touched, the crimes they prevented, and the children they protected. They live on in us when we uphold the law, when we respect those who enforce it, and we remember their legacy with humility and gratitude. Today is their day. The sacrifice does not end with the officer. Behind every badge is a family, a spouse, children, and parents. People who live with a persistent, quiet fear. They say goodbye every morning not knowing if their loved one will return that day. And for families of the fallen, that fear becomes a loss beyond words, a knock on the door that changes everything. To those families who have lost a loved one who served, know this: we do not simply honor your loved one, we honor you as well. Your sacrifice is real. Your grief is shared, and your strength inspires us. You have lived through what most of us could never imagine. You have walked the highest road, and still you come to events like this. You share your stories, you keep their memories alive, and that takes a different kind of courage. It is said that when a police officer dies, a part of the community dies with them. But I believe something else lives on. An example, a sense of duty, a reminder of what it means to live with purpose. Law enforcement service, like military service, is not something that stays confined to the person in uniform. It touches entire families. It shapes generations. It becomes a thread running through the lives of those who serve and those who support them. Whether it's a mother watching her child graduate from the academy, a spouse staying up late until they hear the door unlock, or a parent quietly praying every day for their son or daughter's safety, there's a strength in these roles that often goes unseen. When someone puts on the badge, it's more than a job, it's a pledge. And that pledge is carried not only by the individual, but by the loved ones who stand behind them. They're worried for them and who support them without hesitation. The legacy of service is not just about what happens in a patrol car or at the scene of an accident. It's about commitment, discipline, and a shared belief that protecting others is one of the most meaningful things a person can do. And it's because of that legacy, passed from one generation to the next, lived out in quiet courage, that we gather here today grateful and humble. If you would, I ask that we take a moment to reflect. Think of the officers you've known. Think of the ones who protected your schools, your streets, your neighbors. And think of those who have gone before in our community and beyond. Let us hold them in our hearts. Let us thank them in our thoughts. And let us carry their spirit forward. In the legislature, we have a responsibility to match our gratitude with action. That means ensuring our officers have what they need: training, resources, legal protections, and support. The Ohio House of Representatives will remain committed to ensure that the brave men and women who step into harm's way for us are equipped, respected, and supported in every way. There is always more to do, and we must do it together. It is not just the job of lawmakers to support law enforcement, it's the job of all of us. Respect begins in the home. It grows in schools. It takes root in communities. When we speak with gratitude about our officers, when we teach our kids that service is honorable, when we stand for those who protect us, we are building a culture where sacrifice is seen and valued. Let me say this clearly. Supporting law enforcement should never be a partisan issue. It's a matter of decency, of community, of recognizing that public safety is the foundation upon which all other freedoms rest. We're here today because we believe in that freedom, we believe in honoring it, and we believe in protecting it. As we gather here today, we are not just looking back, we are also looking forward. The legacy of our fallen officers does not end with a ceremony. It continues through how we live our lives, how we treat one another, and how we carry their stories into the future. Let us speak their names. Let us share their stories. Let us continue their work, each in our own way. If we do that, then their sacrifice will never be in vain. The badge will remain a symbol, not just of authority, but of honor and of hope. To the officers who gave their lives, we remember you. To the families, we honor you. To the officers still serving, thank you. And to everyone here today, thank you for your presence, your prayers, and your continued commitment to those who serve. May God bless our fallen. May God bless those who continue to protect and serve. And may God protect the state of Ohio and Holmes County. Thank you.
The total line of duty deaths in the United States in 2024 was at 165. The 4 highest causes of death were gunfire at 49. 24 were 911 related illnesses. There were 20 automobile crashes, and there were 16 heart attacks. The 5 states with the most line of duty deaths in 2024 was New York at 27, Texas at 17. The U.S. government had 12 line of duty deaths. Illinois had 9, Florida had 8. There were 157 males who died in the line of duty and 8 females. The average age was 44. The average tour of duty was 14 years and 1 month. And there were a total of 21 canine units that were also killed in the line of duty. There were 4 fallen officers killed in the line of duty in 2024. And at this time, I'm going to remember and recognize who they are. Lieutenant Rodney Osborne of the Ohio Department of Rehabilitation and Correction. His end of watch was Tuesday, April 9, 2024. Lieutenant Rodney Osborne was shot and killed during a training exercise at the Corrections Training Academy at 1781 State Route 762 in Orient, Ohio. He was training at the tactical firing range just before 11:30 a.m. when the incident occurred. Lieutenant Osborne had served with the Ohio Department of Rehabilitation and Correction for 13 years and was assigned to the Southern Ohio Correctional Facility, serving on the Honor Guard, Special Response Team, and the statewide Special Tactics and Response Team. In the week prior to his death, he had received Employee of the Year recognition. He is survived by his wife and 3 children. He was 43 years old. His tour was 13 years. Police Officer Jacob Durbin of the Euclid Police Department. His end of watch was Saturday, May 11, 2024. Police Officer Jacob Durbin was shot and killed while responding to a disturbance call in the 300 block of East 211th Street at about 9:55 p.m. He was ambushed by a subject after he arrived at the location. The man who shot him, a convicted felon, and was wanted for violating conditions of his community supervision, fled the scene. Officer Durbin was transported to University Hospital, where he succumbed to his wounds. The suspect was found dead from a self-inflicted gunshot wound the next day. Officer Durbin was a United States Army National Guard veteran and had served with the Euclid Police Department for 10 months. He is survived by his mother, father, 3 brothers, a sister, and a fiance. His age was 23. His tour, 10 months. His badge was 14. He was a military veteran. Police Officer Jamison Ritter of the Cleveland Division of Police. His end of watch was Thursday, July 4, 2024. Police officer Jameson Ritter was shot and killed at about 1 a.m. while attempting to arrest a wanted subject in the 1500 block of East 80th Street. Officers had responded to a house on the street after receiving information that a subject wanted for felonious assault was inside. The man exited the home and attempted to flee on a bike before opening fire on officers. Officer Ritter was shot and killed by the subject. The man was taken into custody and charged with aggravated murder. He was declared incompetent to stand trial and has been hospitalized indefinitely. If he improves, he will face aggravated murder charges. Officer Ritter was a member of the Ohio Army National Guard. He had served with the Cleveland Division of Police for 4 years and was assigned to the 3rd District. He had recently been recognized as Officer of the Month. He is survived by his parents, 2 sisters, a brother, a niece, and a nephew. He was 27 years old. His tour was for 4 years. His badge was 1176, and he was a military veteran. Corrections Officer Andrew Lansing of the Ohio Department of Rehabilitation and Correction in Ohio. His end of watch was Wednesday, December 25, 2024. Corrections Officer Andy Lansing died after being assaulted by an inmate on Christmas morning around 7:30 a.m. at the Ross Correctional Institution at 16197 State Route 104 in Chillicothe. The inmate went into the prison yard and attacked Officer Lansing, who was working in the middle of the yard by himself. Officer Lansing was transported to Ohio State University Wexner Medical Center, where he died from severe head trauma. The inmate was transferred to the Southern Ohio Correctional Facility, a maximum security prison in Lucasville. While the Ross Correctional Institution was put under restricted movement, he has been charged with aggravated murder. Officer Lansing was a United States Army veteran and had served with the Ohio Department of Rehabilitation and Correction for over 24 years. He is survived by his wife, 2 children, 3 sisters, and 3 brothers. Officer Lansing was posthumously named the Ohio Department of Rehabilitation and Corrections 2025 Ronald C. Marshall Correction Officer of the Year, an award given to an officer who best personifies the agency's core values. He was 62 years old. His tour was 24 years, and he too was a military veteran.
Reading off the honored members' names now. Bill Smith, Bud Stemshort, Claude Beal, Jeremy Martin, William Self, Willis Franks, Sam DeWalt, Paul Mowry, Mariel Fleming, Clarence Chambers, John Nelson, Robinson French, James McComb, Absalom Gonser, Barney Christopher, William Troyer, James Lepper, John Korn, William Jordan, John Albertson, Jim Estel, Robert Miller, Everett Bauer, Richard Shrimplin, Chester Derringer, Robert Money, Dennis Schaup, Chester Calhoun, Kenneth Ginsberger, Rodney West, Mike Wilnitz, Roger Fortune, Dean Davenport, Darrell Weiss, Chief Carl Starner, Ron Emmons, Daniel Hutchison, James French, John Black, James Hoagland, Llewellyn Allison, Samuel Wyrich, Charles Rockwell, William Butler, E.J. Loveland, David Sampson, Robert Hall, Robert Knoll, Al Reed, Susan Holly, Maynard Moore, Garth Stevens, and Robert Rao.
Ladies and gentlemen, the list continues with the Holmes County Sheriff's Office. The list of the Sheriff's Office begins with an honored member, one Heiner spoke previously in his speech. Officer in Holmes County to be killed in the line of duty. Was December 9th. His method of death was gunfire. Sheriff Bell was struck down by gunfire attempting to apprehend a fleeing felon escaped from the Massillon State Hospital. He was killed in Lakeville, Ohio. The list continues. Sheriff Theodore Sheriff S.D. Allison, Sheriff William O. Miller, Sheriff Marcus Cox, Sheriff John A. Peg Stevens, Sheriff James V. Gray, Sheriff Harry R. Weiss, Sheriff Wayne D. Starner, Sheriff Chester Geringer, Sheriff Darrell D. Weiss, Deputy Joe Shepler, Deputy Ted Geib, Deputy Stan Mullins, Deputy Don Dehass, Deputy Mike Geisinger, Sergeant Peter Nathaniel, Deputy Jared W. Zimmerly, Corrections Officer Darrell Kelly, Sheriff James Taylor, Deputy Larry C. McElroy, Corrections Officer Carl Ritchie, Communications Officer Sally J. Marmot, Corrections Officer Dave Hilbert, Sergeant Maynard Moore, Deputy Terry Byland, and Deputy Kleins Reidenball.
The Ohio State Highway Patrol would like to recognize our fallen members. Daniel Skinny Laubacher, Harold K. Hanning, Ralph E. Morrow, and Paul C. Eberhardt.